Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Offsiders Podcast. I'm joined again by Massimo DeFranco.
What's up, guys?
And Brendan Lang.
Hello, everyone.
So today we have a bit different of an episode than what you guys are used to. Today we will be talking about the current NHL playoffs. We won't be going into any one particular team. We'll be discussing the brackets and who we think is going to come out of them.
Yeah, so we're just going to be giving our picks for the qualifying rounds as the playoffs are in like a week.
Yep, and then we're just doing the qualifying this episode, and then after that, once we know which teams actually qualify, then we'll go into more of a full playoff bracket. We'll have an episode for that as well.
Yeah, that'll be like mid-August.
Yep.
Okay, so let's jump into the first matchup here. We'll start with the West. Let's go with the Arizona versus Nashville.
Okay.
So this season versus each other, Nashville has 5 goals, 66 shots on goal, 0% power play, and 28 hits. Arizona has 7 goals, 60 shots on goal, 37.5% power play, and 29 hits. That's just stats against each other.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say.
Yeah.
I was going to say, hopefully don't have 29 hits all year. Okay.
Who do you guys think is the better offensive team?
I'm going to go with Arizona.
Yeah, like if we're just talking purely offense,
yeah.
I think Arizona.
Yeah. I'd give the edge to Arizona too.
Yeah.
I think Arizona, they have a lot of firepower up front. They got Phil Kessel and Taylor Hall now.
So should we reveal who we're gonna pick and then justify it, or save that for?
Yeah.
No, okay, so
we'll say
Luca, who's your pick?
Nashville.
Langer?
I'm gonna go with Arizona.
Yeah, I got Arizona too. So Arizona for me, they got like a Stanley Cup veteran in Phil Kessel. And he has fallen off a cliff, but he can still score, and he's been in the Stanley Cup playoffs a lot of times.
He was never on a cliff.
Pardon? Yeah, he was.
Never on a cliff.
In the Leafs, he was. That was like when he peaked. Actually, no, he went to Pittsburgh, then he peaked. Like Nashville does have good offensive talent. They just haven't been able to put it together. And it's kind of been more like Arizona's been the more offensively consistent team with guys like Clayton Keller, Taylor Hall.
See, like, the thing for me is, like, I barely watch Western teams as it is. Like, I barely watch any team other than the Leafs as it is. But it's like, Arizona is very irrelevant. And it's like, they have a lot of guys. And, like, a lot of these guys are very new to the team, so they haven't been there for a while. It's like, Hall hasn't been there for very long. Like, I'm pretty sure this is Kessel's first or second season on the team. Keller's still pretty friggin' young.
I think it's his first.
I think it is his first, yeah.
So, like, for me, I don't think these guys have had enough time together to beat, like, a good playoff team like Nashville, especially with the defense that Nashville has and a reliable goaltender in Pekka Rinne.
Yeah, defensively, the edge definitely does go to Nashville because they've got definitely like in my opinion, the Norris winner, Roman Josi.
Mm-hmm. One of the best in the league for sure.
Goalie wise, it's kind of tough. They have a veteran goalie in Pekka Rinne, right? But Darcy Kemper was outstanding before he got injured this season. Yeah,
I think Darcy Kemper's good. Pekka Rinne's been in the big stage before playing in the Stanley Cup final. So I'd probably give the edge to Nashville goalie wise there, but I think Arizona, I like what they're doing with the offense, like we just talked about. Like you said, Clayton Keller's young. He's going to be, ready to go here. Arizona, another thing is that they are a small market team, like someone mentioned, and that might help that they're not playing in front of fans because it's not like Arizona's used to playing in front of them. I mean, I'm not trying to be like.
No, I got you.
But they're not used to playing in front of a huge ruckus crowd every night. So it might kind of sway the advantage on that side to Arizona.
Yeah, they'll get used to it faster.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it'll be a close series. I don't think Arizona takes this in a sweep by any means. But
yeah, for sure. For me, this is gonna be a close series in the West.
For me, I mean, especially in playoffs, I value experience really, really highly.
Yeah, for sure.
And like with a team that, like, obviously, I mean, I haven't seen enough of Arizona to really gauge anything, but, like, when it comes down to, like, experience versus, like, youth and firepower, I always look for, like, that one guy that could be, like, the difference maker. It's like in a Penguins versus Canadians matchup, it's like Carey Price is going to have to be a whole different guy. It's like I don't think Arizona has that one guy who could, like, really, really step up for them. It's like they have a couple of really good guys, but, like, not one, like, superstar.
Yeah.
For me, it's like I'm still going to give the edge to experience.
Well, it's funny you say that because the biggest X factor in Arizona winning this series is Taylor Hall, because he's a pending UFA, and he wants to prove that he's still an elite player, because he wasn't having the best of season in Arizona.
Well, I mean, he was also coming off an injury.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when we did our player reviews way back when, like, he hadn't had a good year since, what, 2018?
When he won the Hart, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you win the Hart, obviously you're an elite guy. That was a couple of years ago, but I think, I mean, he's, like Massimo just said, he's going to have a lot of motivation going into this sort of play-in thing to prove, because he's going to be an unrestricted free agent, to prove that he's still up there and that he's worth the money that he's going to get paid. So I think he'll show up, but he's the biggest X factor. I do agree.
Yeah, the offense for Arizona has to show up or they don't win the series.
For sure.
Okay, so in summary, Luca has Nashville, me and Langer both have Arizona. Okay, let's move to the next one. We got Minnesota versus Vancouver this season versus each other. Minnesota has scored 8 goals against Vancouver, 89 shots on goal, 18.2 power play percentage, 48 hits. Vancouver has scored 9 goals on Minnesota, 90 shots on goal, 21.4 power play percentage, and 41 hits. Luca, who do you have?
Oh, it's going to me first. Vancouver, Minnesota. I'm going Vancouver here.
Brendan?
I'm going to go with Minnesota.
Ooh. Okay, I have Vancouver. For me, I think Vancouver is the better offensive team.
Yep.
They have really good stars like Pettersson, Horvat, Besser, JT Miller. They even have playoff veterans. Some guys who even won the Cup with LA. Tyler Toffoli. Jay Beagle won the Cup with Washington, I'm pretty sure.
Jay Beagle and Tyler Toffoli are not veterans. They're fourth liners who saw 5 minutes of ice time per game.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have. That's the only kind of problem I have with that, is that, yeah, like, you can't really say. I mean, you can. I mean, it's fine. But Tyler Toffoli, he's not going to make a huge difference on a team.
He is in their top
playoff run. Or same with Jay Beagle. I mean, he's not going to. I mean, he might win some faceoffs for you, something like that. But I don't. No, I mean, he might win some good key faceoffs, but, like, they can grind it out. That's fine. But in the playoffs, I mean, you need some firepower up front, which I'm not. And Vancouver does have more firepower up front than Minnesota, for sure. There's no doubting that. But I just think, again, going back to the experience, I just think Minnesota's been around longer. They've kind of been around, kind of like that bubble playoff team, for a long time. They've kind of been in there a lot. Vancouver's really young, so I'd go with Minnesota in this one, but I can see Vancouver winning. It's not like it's going to be a blowout for sure. We've talked about how irrelevant Minnesota is, so
yeah.
Yeah, for me, Vancouver's just a little young right now, but I really like with Pettersson and Horvat and guys like that. I think they're definitely going to be very good in the future. Also with what's his name? Hughes. Quinn Hughes.
Yeah. Yeah. See, my justification for the qualifying rounds is, I think for the qualifying rounds, coaches are starting to value more of more like speed, young, skilled players, because you need to get going fast, and I don't think veteran leadership will help. Well, it'll definitely help, but it's not like it'll help as much as a best-of-7 series where you kind of like wears on the guys and like it's a longer series. I think you're going to need some skill guys to start scoring fast and just get into shape like right away.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm taking.
I can see your point on that one for sure, but also the guys who've been around for a long time. I mean, nobody's been in this situation before, but guys that have been around a long time, they kind of like, they know themselves better, and I think they can probably figure it out how to get ready for a quick startup. So I think that can kind of go both ways.
Yeah. Defensively, They're both pretty good. Vancouver's got guys like Hughes, Edler, Tyler Myers, but I'd say Minnesota definitely has the edge with Suter, Brodin, Spurgeon, Dumba, even Brad Hunt, who had a pretty good season this season.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. 19 points back there.
Yeah.
Honestly, so when I first looked at this matchup, I immediately just thought Vancouver because, like, for the, like, I'd say from pretty much 2017 to, like, 2013, there were two guys on that team that gave any fan hope, and they both retired at the same time. If you don't know,
they did everything at the same time.
You really should not be doing this podcast. But I'm actually looking at the Minnesota roster right now.
Would you like to change your prediction?
No, but it's going to be a lot closer than I think I initially thought.
Yeah.
I feel like Minnesota is kind of in the same situation as Nashville is. I think with like a little bit less skill, but like they have a lot of guys who have been around the league for a while and like they have a lot of like experience. Mm-hmm. It's just like there's not a lot of like really big like skill guys on the team.
Yeah.
Alex Galchenyuk is probably one of their best players.
Yeah. I have a fact, or not a fact, but I'll touch on that in a few minutes. Goalies is where I see the difference.
Yeah.
I think Markstrom is a way better goalie than Dubnyk right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Markstrom is a goalie capable of bailing out Vancouver's defensive errors.
Yeah, I can see that. I think, I mean, Alex Stalock, got to watch over him. No, but I definitely agree with you. Markstrom is a better goalie than Dubnyk at this time.
Plus his contract's up, so he's probably been playing extra better, make sure Vancouver keeps him.
Yeah, Dubnyk has not had a good year.
Yeah. So, for me, the X factor in this series is Kevin Fiala, because before the break, he was really starting to break out and becoming like a really good offensive player. And I think if he actually starts to find his stride and becomes a problem for Vancouver, that's how Minnesota will upset Vancouver.
Okay.
So,
I mean, Kevin Fiala, he's had a pretty good season, 54 points.
Yeah, so people were looking at him.
Only,
like, we expect more of you. What's happening here? It just took him a while to settle from the trade. I'm pretty sure he went from Nashville to Minnesota.
Yeah. Let's check it out.
So Brendan's got Minnesota, and me and Luca both have Vancouver.
He went from Nashville to Minnesota. Good call.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
We got Chicago versus Edmonton.
Yeah.
So this season versus each other, Chicago has scored 10 goals on Edmonton, 107 shots on goal, 0 power play percentage, 84 hits. Edmonton has scored 9 goals, 83 shots on goal, 42.9 power play percentage with 93 hits.
0 power play for Chicago. Wow, that's actually really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's close, but I'm going to take Edmonton.
Me too.
Yep, I'm with Edmonton as well.
Okay, so we're all going Edmonton. For me, I think Edmonton's offense or Chicago's offense, they're very similar, except I think there's more star power on Edmonton because of those 2 stars. There is 2 stars on Chicago with Kane and Taves, but I think Taves is a bit more grizzled, kind of getting up there in age. McDavid and Draisaitl.
Chicago is Edmonton in about 10 years.
Exactly.
Well, I think we talked about this on the last episode. They're kind of going in opposite trajectories. Chicago's been there for a long time, and they're kind of on their way down, and Edmonton hasn't been around. They haven't been relevant for a long time, and they're on their way up. So I think it's an interesting series, and I did kind of talk about veteran leadership, but to me, Edmonton just has too much firepower up front.
Yeah, I was surprised Luka didn't go Chicago here.
Oh, okay. Well, as I was saying before, it's like, yes, there is experience, and like it's experience versus like youth and just hunger to finally get to like that cup.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's Connor McDavid and there's Leon Draisaitl, and I think that's more than an X factor to put one over the other. It's like if one doesn't deliver, the other will, or both do, and you're even screwed, like worse than you thought you were. So, they have that same 1-2 punch that Chicago did about 7-8 years ago.
Well,
but they're
Kane's not a center.
Okay, you know.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
they're faster, they're younger, and I think they're just overall a better team. Like they're 5th seed, Chicago's 12th. I think you also have to take that into account.
Yeah, for sure. And also, it's not like Edmonton has no veteran leadership as well. Like, I mean, you got Tyler Ennis there now. You also have James Neal. Chris Russell's played for Calgary in the playoffs for a long time there. I remember Calgary had a really good run there, and Chris Russell was a big part of that. So I think they kind of have a good mix, but the offense, again, is just too much.
Yeah.
I agree.
Defensively wise, I think it's kind of close, but I'd give the edge to Chicago. So Chicago got like Keith, Bogfist, and Dahan and Murphy, and Edmonton has Clefbaum, Larson, Nurse, and Bear. It's kind of a wash, but I'm just giving it to Chicago because I think Keith, being the experienced veteran he is, I don't see him as like a bad defenseman right now, but I think he can still actually be a good defenseman in this series.
Well, and I feel like Edmonton has better offensive defensemen.
Exactly.
So like Chicago, yes, they're going to be better on the defensive part of it just because they have those like experienced guys who are used to handling maybe the superstars. But at the end of the day, like having those two guys up front and then having a bunch of offensive defensemen to come pick up any slack that McDavid and Draisaitl leave behind, I just think it's going to be too much for Chicago to handle.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're also leaving out Ryan Nugent-Hopkins too. I think he's gonna be a big part of this series as well, because I think we talked about it in the last episode, maybe not the last one, but a couple ones ago, and talked about how there's a big scoring drop off. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is still having a pretty productive season. If he wasn't on a team with McDavid and Draisaitl,
he'd be a top scorer. Yeah, for sure.
He'd be a top scorer.
So goalies wise, it's close again, but I don't know. I'm gonna give it to Koskinen because I don't think Crawford is the goalie he used to be.
I totally agree with that. Totally agree.
I'd go with it too.
He have the exact same save percentage too, and Koskinen's played 2 less games this season. But yeah.
Well, I mean, 2 games. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. But
I'd go with that as well.
Yeah. So we all have Edmonton. For me, the X factor, if Chicago does find a way to win, it'll be because Edmonton's forward depth doesn't produce. Because Chicago could find a way to shut down McDavid or Draisaitl, and if they do, they only shut down one. But you need guys like Kyler Yamamoto, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Anthony Ciu to step up and produce. You can't rely on just 2 guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
especially in the playoffs.
Exactly.
I mean, this isn't technically playoffs, but it kind of is.
Qualifiers for the first round, yeah. All right, last series of the West. In my opinion, the closest one in the West. You got Winnipeg versus Calgary. This season, Winnipeg scored 1 goal, so they only played 1 game. So Winnipeg scored 1 goal, 30 shots on net, 33.3 power play percentage, 11 hits. Calgary scored 2 goals, 45 shots on goal, 20 power play percentage, 20 hits. Honestly, I'm still unsure about this series, but I'm going with Winnipeg.
I would have gone. Okay, I'll save that for after. I'm going Calgary.
I'm gonna go Calgary as well.
Okay. See, for me, I think Winnipeg's the better offensive team because, like, you got guys like Connor, Scheifele, Wheeler, Ehlers, Laine. Calgary has some stars like Gaudreau, Monahan, Lindholm, Kachuk, and Mangiapane, but Calgary's stars haven't shown up in playoffs, and they've been inconsistent offensively. And if that happens in this series...
I mean, they haven't shown up in playoffs, because of the one upset that happened last year? Like, you're basing that off of one time.
Yeah.
Like, all these real young guys.
No, yeah, for sure. It's a small sample size. I don't think Gaudreau had a good season this season either. I'm not too sure about that.
Pretty good, 58 points.
Yeah, but he came off a 99-point season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, coming off of a 99-point season, any season's going to seem like a drop-off.
It's true.
True. I don't know. I just think Winnipeg's offense is more consistent and dominant than Calgary's.
I'm going to say I really, really like Mark Giordano back there.
Me too.
On defense with Calgary.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a big part of this series. And I think, like you said, if you think Winnipeg has a better offense, I'm going to go with Calgary having better
Oh,
defense.
it's not even a competition. Defensively, Calgary has Giordano, Brody, Hannafin. Winnipeg
Yeah.
has Josh Morey and his merry men.
Yeah.
Like if this were the last year Winnipeg Jets, it's Winnipeg without a question. But they lost pretty much all of their defense and probably one of the biggest like offensive defensemen
Big buff.
in the league. And yeah, like I feel like that is just a huge blow to their team. And like obviously Connor Hellebuck as a goalie to have, like in playoffs, like he's shown that he's like good in playoffs too. But I don't know, for me, like Calgary's just they're a really freaking good team.
And also, I think it was last year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Paul Stastny played on the Jets last year.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Wow.
he had a crazy run actually in the playoffs. There, he was one of their top scorers, and I think maybe not losing him specifically, but losing a guy who did something like that in the playoffs definitely hurts him as well.
Yeah. So defensively, like I can't defend Winnipeg at all, but goalies wise is the reason I'm going with Winnipeg because I think Hellebuck can bail out Winnipeg time after all the defensive errors that they have because they have very no defense. But I think it won't matter because Hellebuck is just that good. And Calgary. So what I have here is like Calgary's offense is not that like punishing. So if Winnipeg does make a mistake, I think Hellebuck will have fine with it. So it's kind of like a wash. Like it doesn't really matter.
You really don't think Calgary's offense is that punishing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty good. I mean, you have like Monahan and Gaudreau.
You have two of the biggest shit disturbers in the league. You have Matthew Tkachuk and Milan Lucic on one team.
Yeah, Lucic is.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's just like two like very good goaltenders. Like I honestly don't even know who the backup is. There's Cam Talbot, and then there's David Riddick there too.
Yeah,
like that is a good backup if one gets injured. My goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. So the X factor obviously is going to be Hellebuck in this series.
Yep.
For you.
For me, yeah.
If you're looking at Winnipeg winning the series, Hellebuck needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
The best. I'm going to say he needs to be the best goalie out of any team in the West in these play-ins.
Absolutely.
He needs to win the Conn Smythe, pretty much.
Yeah, and then I think me and you both agree, Brendan, if Mark Giordano shows up, Calgary pretty much wins.
I mean, he's a big anchor back there.
Yeah, this will definitely be the closest series in the West.
Yeah, and I mean it's closest seeding too. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be a good one to watch.
That's the West done.
Yes.
Move on to
trivia. NBA trivia again.
What do you got today, Langer?
Handicaps.
It will be the same type of quiz. You can't answer until I'm finished telling you the entire biography. And yes, Massimo doesn't have a handicap this time. So whoever answers first, you answer, one person give an answer. If it's not right, the next person will give an answer. It'll be like every other trivia that we've done.
Okay. Is it 5?
Okay. Yeah, 5. I made a 6th guy just in case one of my guys is.
For everyone listening, I had to kind of study NBA players as I am more of an NHL fanatic than NBA. So if I seem off, that is why.
Okay, I've made a couple really easy ones here. So, okay, we're gonna start off the first one. This player's father played for the Toronto Raptors. This player I'm talking about went to Davidson University and was the first unanimous NBA MVP. He plays on the Golden State Warriors.
Stephen Curry.
Okay.
Damn it.
Lucas.
Right when you said his father played for the Raptors, I knew it was Steph.
Yeah. Okay. Here you go.
Drake wore his jersey in the finals.
That's right. That was pretty good. That was pretty cool of Drake. I like that move. Okay. Moving on. This player is from Spain and has represented his country at many international events, including the FIBA World Cup, where he won gold last summer. He was a member of the Memphis Grizzlies his whole career until he was acquired at the trade deadline in 2019. He plays for the Toronto Raptors.
Marc Gasol.
Good one. Good job, Massimo.
Where'd it go?
I knew he's Spanish. Let's go.
I actually
Good.
did not know that.
Okay. Moving on. He was a star at Arizona State and was drafted with the 3rd pick of the 2009 NBA draft by the Oklahoma City Thunder. He is widely regarded as one of the best scorers in the league, and he plays for the Houston Rockets.
James Harden.
Oh. Massimo is up 2-1.
That's the only player I know who plays for the Houston Rockets.
I wasn't sure if it was him or Kevin Durant, but right when you said Houston, I couldn't get James Harden out fast enough.
Okay. Massimo is up 2-1.
It sounded a lot like Kevin Durant. You said OKC, you said best scorer in the league. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, true. Okay. This one's going to be... okay. Okay. This player plays college basketball in North Carolina and has the most points in Tar Heels history, edging out all-time great Michael Jordan. He was a Toronto Raptor from 2013 to 15. He is my favorite player and goes by the nickname Killer T.
Tyler Hansbrough.
Tyler Hansbrough.
There's no way on earth Massimo is getting that.
No idea.
No way.
In my opinion, the 3rd best college player in history.
Wait, he had more points than Michael Jordan?
In North Carolina history. Yeah.
Kyle Jordan.
Damn.
And Michael Jordan played all 4 years.
He played 3, actually, Michael Jordan.
3.
That's impressive.
Tyler Hansbrough played all 4, but...
Was he like an NBA flop, or is he still a good player in the NBA?
He wasn't very good in the NBA, but he's my favorite player of all time.
College player, then.
Killer T.
Yeah, I think, to me, he's the 3rd best college player ever.
Next to who?
I'm going to say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor at the time, who's the best ever. And Christian Laettner would be 2nd.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, he
Never
wasn't
heard
very
of
good in the
him.
NBA either.
Okay, let's
Okay.
go.
This is the 5th and final one. Are you guys ready?
It's tied, isn't it?
It's up?
Yeah. It is tied. It shouldn't be too hard.
Okay.
Hold on one second. Okay, never mind. Okay. This player is from Australia and was drafted with the 1st overall pick after playing at Louisiana State. He's widely known for his lack of 3-point shooting skill. Is 6'10", plays the point guard position, and plays on the Philadelphia 76ers.
Ben Simmons. No. Okay.
I knew it right when you said from Australia, but I had to wait till you finished.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
That was pretty close.
I said it too.
No, I mean, Luca did say it first. That was close, though.
Okay, give it to him.
Okay, I got one more here. We can just all say it, see if you guys know.
Go for it.
Okay. Played at Kentucky, 1st overall pick of the New Orleans Pelicans. Played there until he was traded this past summer and plays for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, okay. I know who it is.
Go ahead.
No, I want to let Massimo. Like, I actually genuinely do know who this is. I'm just not.
Okay.
DeMarcus Cousins?
It's not a bad guess.
Anthony Davis.
Yep, there you go.
Good job. Okay. Now it's tied 1-1. Massimo, you're actually much better than...
Bro, I want to tell you, I studied.
You studied James Harden.
No, I already knew James Harden. He's the only player I knew who played for Houston. All Langer had to say was play for Houston, and James Harden's coming out of my mouth.
I knew Massimo was not getting Tyler Hands, bro.
Yeah. Like, I'm kind of surprised you didn't get Steph Massimo, just because I thought it was pretty well known that his dad played for the Raptors.
Yeah.
Did not know that, to be honest.
Wardell Curry.
All right, well, that's the NBA trivia.
That's right.
Let's jump back into some playoffs. We're going into the East now. So first matchup we're going to look at are the Rangers versus the Hurricanes. Who do you boys have?
Rangers, Hurricanes. I have the Carolina Hurricanes.
I also have the Carolina Hurricanes.
I have the Rangers.
Ooh.
So this season, the Rangers have scored 17 goals against the Carolina Hurricanes, 104 shots on goal, 33.3% power play percentage, 75 hits. Carolina, 9 goals, 161 shots on goal, 12.5 power play percentage, 82 hits. For me, the Rangers are the better team offensively. because they got guys like Kreider, Zibanejad, Buchnevich, Panarin, and like Filip Chytil. Carolina does have guys like Svechnikov.
Huge difference.
Shut up. Carolina does have guys like Svechnikov, Aho, and Teravainen, but I think the Rangers' depth will be the difference.
What depth, Maximo?
Well, it's not that much depth, but it's more than Carolina's.
I really don't think it is.
Load, I would chime in. Yeah, I'm just looking here.
Because like that's their first line. Their first line: Svechnikov, Aho, and Teravainen.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
good.
They don't have anything else after that.
I mean,
What do the Rangers have after their first line?
I'll let you know. But they got they've guys like Kreider. I'm pretty sure he's been in some playoff series.
yeah, he has, but
Wow, Chris Kreider.
oh, I mean,
My
he's been in playoff series. But, okay, Chris Kreider.
Yeah.
If we're talking about Chris Kreider being in playoff series, I mean, I think Jordan Stahl also was
No, okay.
pretty
So
good.
their first line is Kreider, Zibanejad, Buchnevich, and then their second line's Panarin, Strome, Jesper Fast.
Okay,
So you're telling me that is more depth than Carolina?
Well, let's check Carolina then.
they do have the best player in the series, New York,
Yeah.
They have
For
Panarin.
for sure.
Yes, Luca, I think the Rangers do have more depth than Carolina. Carolina's first line, Svechnikov, Aho, Teravainen.
Okay,
Their second line,
Better first line.
Dzingel, Jordan Stahl, Justin Williams.
That's
Their
better.
third line. That's better than their second line?
You know how good Justin Williams is in playoffs?
I'm sorry. Is Panarin and Strome not good enough for a second
Whoa.
line?
Strome is a little. I think you're overrating Strome a little bit, Massimo.
Well, he did have a good season this season.
69 points, not bad.
Yeah, but he's never been to a playoffs.
Well, like I said, I'm taking skill over experience.
Okay, but
Yeah, that's fine. I just think. Okay, here's my thing. New York, if you say that they have better depth than Carolina up front, okay, that's fine. But I don't think it's by a huge margin. I don't think they're better
No, it's
offensively.
close.
I don't think
Yeah.
they're better offensively than Carolina by like a massive, massive margin. They have
No,
the best
it's-
player in the series for sure.
Yeah.
But Carolina's defense is of course better.
Defensively, it's not even close. Carolina has the best
It's not even
defensive
close.
core in the league.
You're right.
Even with Dougie Hamilton out, they still have good defense.
Is he out for sure or
Dougie Hamilton and Pesci are not playing right now.
okay?
Okay.
Go ahead.
the fact that last year the Carolina Hurricanes were able to beat the Washington Capitals in 7 games and then sweep the Islanders, who had just swept Pittsburgh, tells me enough about what they can do in the playoffs. Sure, yes, they got swept by Boston in the 3rd round, but Boston took St. Louis to 7. So, like for me, Carolina is a seasoned playoff team. They're very defensive, and I think in playoffs, I think having a good defensive team is more important than having offense, but I think that first line is more than talented enough to pick up the slack.
Yeah.
Quote, slack.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I just think because one. Okay, so Panarin. You're saying Panarin's on the second line.
Panarin is on the second
Okay.
line, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So Carolina's first line, just like matchup to matchup, is better than the New York Rangers' first line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
And
they're
okay.
spreading their skill around.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So, who are their 2 best players? Panarin.
So if you want to go best player if you want to make their first line all their best players, their first line would be Zibanejad, Kreider, and Panarin.
Okay.
And then
So okay, so I still think Carolina has their 3 players are better than those 3.
I agree.
I don't know. I think Panarin makes up for the lack of Kreider's offensive production.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that's a fair point. To me
Lack
it's just
of offensive production, and there's 45 points.
I think he played more of a Nazem Kadri role.
Okay, but the defensive core that Carolina has is just it's too strong
Okay.
to me for a team that's maybe they're a better offensive team than Carolina, but I don't think they're good enough offensively to beat a team that is defensive minded like the Hurricanes.
Yeah, so I really wanted to go with Carolina, and I was going to, and then I looked at the goalies, and I like Shesterkin is young, and Lundqvist is probably not as good as he used to be, but I would trust him more than I would trust Mrazek and Reimer.
I don't know. Reimer's the best goalie in the league. But
Don't get it wrong, for sure.
What league? The Mississauga Hockey League?
Probably not.
yeah, I don't know if it was that.
But no, yeah, that's the difference for me. I think goalies is the difference.
Man, like,
It's
even,
tough.
okay, like, I understand, like, yes, Panarin will be getting shots, like, on Mrazek or Reimer or whoever Carolina decides to put in net. But I think that Carolina's defense is good enough to know who they have to cover on that team, because after you cover, like, their two good guys and then Chris Kreider, and what? And what, man?
Yeah, I know. I got you. I think
Walk up to Henrik Lundqvist, fire one of his pads, and watch his skeleton break under his equipment.
I think
It's just too old.
I think Shesterkin's going to be. Well, I think what's going to happen to him is what's going to happen to what happened to Matt Murray.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think it will happen. That's why goalies wise, I think that's the difference.
And you think they're going to go with him over Lundqvist?
Right now, I think he is the better goalie, but I
Okay,
think they
yeah,
might
I
start
agree.
Lundqvist for the experience.
It all depends on who shows up in playoffs and who they really want to see.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right. So
Okay.
summary: I have the Rangers. The boys have Carolina.
That's oh my god.
Anyways.
You wait. It's gonna happen.
I will wait.
Remember when our good friend Robbie Hunter said that
He said, "Mark my words, Columbus beats Tampa Bay."
not beats, sweeps
Yeah, sweeps. He said, "Mark my words."
before the series started.
Yeah,
So maybe Massimo will pull one off there. Who knows?
yeah. Luca, you mark my words.
I will literally write them down.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay.
Florida versus New York is our next series.
Yep.
This season versus each other, Florida has scored 7 goals, 94 shots, 35 power play percentage, 62 hits. The Islanders have scored 4 goals, 108 shots, 10 power play percentage, 50 hits. Who are you boys going with?
I got Florida.
I got the Isles.
I got Florida. So on paper, I'd give the offensive advantage to the Islanders with like guys like Lee, Barzal, Eberle, Nelson, and Peugeot. But this season, they could not generate offense to save their life. Florida's offense is sneaky good. They got guys like Vetrano, Barkov, Dadonov, Huberdeau, and Hoffman. I'd just give it to Florida.
No, I can see it. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Barry Trotz. I think
Yeah,
Joel Quenneville's very I mean you can't say enough about Joel Quenneville. Like he's
very good coaches in this series.
Yeah, I mean it's probably the best coach series, but I don't know. It's actually tough for me. It's tougher than I thought. It's closer than I thought, really. Florida probably, yeah, they definitely do have more offensive power. Well, they have shown more offensive power this season.
Yeah, like on paper, Islanders are the better offensive team.
But this season, yes, I agree. They have shown more. It's tough too, and we haven't really mentioned this, but this is like a whole new season, though.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
Like,
yeah,
I don't know how much you can really pay attention to numbers. That
you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
like I'm not.
You do, but at the same time, it's like for the most part, these guys only had their homes to train, and like as we're gonna start to see games now, it's like as we saw with the Toronto game today, it's like guys are still kind of shaking the rust off.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
It's not like during all this time these guys have been like having one of those Under Armour training montages in their garage and like just working to some like 80s rock music. It's like some of the guys, like if they were really like if they were kind of weak players, it's not like all of a sudden they became Connor McDavid.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking like Barzell number increasing by like a wide margin when this comes. I'm not talking about guys who are already low because, like we said, looking just on paper without like just looking at the players, you would think that the Islanders had better offensive production this season.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you guys for sure these qualifying rounds, they're going to be way sloppier than you would see last year in the first round.
Of course,
Like players cannot keep the puck on their stick. Passes are going everywhere. Like I was watching the Leafs game tonight. Montreal could not start a power play with a perfect pass. Like Shea Weber like missed a pass like 5 times. It was brutal.
One thing I do have to say, this doesn't really have anything to do with what we're talking about. But I heard I didn't watch much of the Leaf game today, but I heard that there's like the Leafs are like deciding between Nick Robertson and Frederick Gauthier.
Well, I don't think it's a decision. I think after that game, because like you're allowed for that exhibition, you're allowed to play 1 extra forward and 1 extra defenseman.
Yeah.
So Gauthier, Engvall, and Robertson were all the players fighting for a position.
Okay.
And I think Engvall definitely beat Gauthier. Gauthier didn't do anything in that game. And Robertson fit in.
Engvall's in there for sure. I like Pierre Engvall a lot.
Engvall's a good penalty killer.
How in the world would anyone take Frederick Gauthier over a guy who scored 55 goals in the OHL this year?
Well, the thing with Robertson is it's tough to, like he said it himself, it's tough to get your shot off with NHL guys. It's like, it's not like you're in the OHL anymore. Like you got to get your shot off way faster.
No question. But Gauthier can't even shoot.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't matter if he gets a shot off.
Biggest guy on the team doesn't throw his body around.
Like, I mean, it doesn't.
I think we will get to that once we get to our final.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like he used his body for anything, but anyways.
So let's get back into Florida, New York. Defensively, it's close, but I'm going to give the edge to Florida because they got guys like Ekblad and Yandel and Strawman. Like they don't have much defensively, but neither does the Islanders. They got guys like Leddy, Taves, and Mayfield. Like,
yeah, Leddy's good, but you're right. They're both pretty thin on the back end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then goalies this season, it's obviously the Islanders.
They also got their nice defenseman Sebastian.
Yeah, and then so the X Factor, or Luca, go for it.
No, was that a shot at me? Did I say something in a past podcast?
No, they actually have a defenseman.
No, there's 2 Sebastian Ahos.
Oh, I thought you were saying something about like something stupid that I said. I was like, no problem. But still.
There's 2 Sebastian Ahos in 1 hotel. Anyway, the X factor for me, and I think it's one of the biggest X factors in the East, is Bobrovsky, because he had an awful season, and he's trying to prove his worth. He's got to play with a chip on his shoulder. He's got to actually make some saves.
He got paid a lot of money.
Yeah. If Bobrovsky can't make any saves, the Islanders can win the series.
Good. Okay.
Well, I mean, I think even if he makes saves, it's like the Islanders still can win the series. But I don't know. Like for me, just I see a lot more potential and improvement on Florida's end. And like maybe it's just because I'm a Leafs fan, but I really don't see much potential with the Islanders.
Yeah. Okay. So Luca's got the Panthers. I got the Panthers. Brendan has the Islanders. Next one, Montreal versus Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this should be an easy one.
This season versus each other. Montreal has scored 7 goals, 89 shots on goal, 25 power play percentage, 132 hits. Pittsburgh, 8 goals, 99 shots on goal, 12.5 power play percentage, 112 hits. Luca, who do you got?
Pittsburgh.
Brendan, who you got?
Pittsburgh.
I got Montreal. No, I'm kidding.
No, you don't.
I got Pittsburgh.
So we didn't have Montreal.
So I think we can skip the offensive, defensive goalies thing. Like it all goes to Pittsburgh, right?
Everything goes to Pittsburgh.
Like everything goes to Pittsburgh. Carey Price is going to have to show like Team Canada Carey Price.
He's got to play vintage Carey Price.
Carey Price needs to be the best goalie ever.
Dude, he's gonna have to be like international, like Olympic, like you're playing against Team USA and Team Sweden. Carey Price.
Yeah, like just off of watching the Canadians today, they did not look good. They do. Max Domi's on their 4th line.
Max Domi sucks.
Well, yeah,
he doesn't suck, but
he has
in the NHL
potential. Yeah.
No, but I mean, he has. I don't think he's a bad NHL player. Like
no, but what I'm trying to say is like they don't have anything going for them offensively.
I definitely don't disagree with you
or anything. But yeah, Pittsburgh should be able to win this series unless Carey Price puts up a .950 save percentage.
See, but man, even if he does, can
I still, I
can
it's
Montreal
gonna be
fill
tough.
the net enough against
No,
Pittsburgh?
I think they can. I
way.
think they can.
Hmm.
Like
I-
I honestly I would put money on the fact that there is no way Pittsburgh loses this series. Okay, they might lose a game.
You know, people said that about Tampa Columbus.
Okay,
yeah.
but there's
But that's a little
there's
different though, because
Toronto,
that's
like-
last year for one, so it was regular playoffs.
Yeah, and Columbus
Two,
actually had
Montreal
players.
wasn't even close to making the playoffs this year.
Yeah. Okay, so Pittsburgh sweep.
Pittsburgh,
absolutely
yes,
zero.
and out of the entire play-in rounds, this would be my bet for a 3-game
Sweep. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we all Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Next one, the last one. Columbus versus Toronto, in my opinion, the closest series in the East. This season versus each other, Columbus has scored 5 goals on the Toronto Maple Leafs with 67 shots on goal, 20 power play percentage, 35 hits. The Leafs have scored 7 goals, 60 shots on goal, 28.6 power play percentage, 44 hits. So I actually do have more hits than Columbus. It's kind of funny.
All right.
And their average age is actually the exact same.
Wow, I didn't know
My-
Columbus was that young.
That's the
What,
one
Luka?
thing I find out.
What'd you say?
It took my job.
The average age?
Yeah, I just think that's
You can go look it up. I don't know the number. You can go look it up.
I use to sound smart. I don't look it up. I calculate it myself. I sit there, I open up the calculator thing on my phone, and I'm like, plus.
Okay, who do you have, Luca?
I have the Boston Bruins. No, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Brendan?
I got the Leafs.
Okay, so we all have the Leafs. I'm going to put my bias aside as much as I can, but I'm giving the offensive advantage to Toronto because their offensive depth is really good, and it needs to show up in this series. Toronto's got guys like Matthews, Nylander, Marner, Tavares, Hyman, as opposed to Columbus's Texier, Dubois, Atkinson, Venberg, Nyquist. Like, definitely,
That was the most disheartened Toronto Maple Leafs like I've ever heard in my life. You're like, I got Toronto.
what?
Like, he did not sound excited about having the Leafs.
Who, me?
Well, I mean,
Oh, Massimo.
Yeah.
Me.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Langer. Yeah, not me.
He sounded a little.
Definitely me. I don't know. I've been a Leaf fan for a long time here, and
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if they lose this series. I'm not gonna lie.
I've become less of a Leaf fan over the years. But when I was young, I was a huge Leaf fan, and
Yeah.
You were.
I've been let down by this franchise.
So Langer, was 2013 the last straw?
I was still a big fan after 2013, but
2013 was everyone's last straw.
that's ridiculous. But
That was my first straw. Defensively, it's not close. Well, actually, no. Well, I mean, on paper, it's kind of close, but on the ice, it's not. The edge goes to Columbus. They got guys like Werenski, Jones, Savard.
for sure.
They just have guys like Muzzin, Riley, and Barry.
I saw Muzzin lay a big hit today. It was nice.
Yeah, he dumped the guy and injured him. He didn't come back.
Nice. That's how the game
Yeah.
is supposed to be played.
Like those 3 names, Werenski, Jones, Savard, compared to the Leafs, Muzzin, Riley, Barry. It's like I look at those names, kind of the same players, except for the fact that 2 of those Leafs players haven't really performed as they were supposed to this season. And Columbus's players are more defensive minded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm looking at defense, especially on a team like Toronto Maple Leafs, it's like I don't need offensive capabilities. I need like a guy who's going to block shots, a guy who's going to lay hits, and a guy who can shut down big names.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
Like, we have enough firepower. We don't need more.
if the Leafs got Giordano, we'd be set.
Bro, if the
We
Leafs,
signed Dustin Bufflin. I've been saying this for
Bufflin too.
years.
Yeah, Bufflin's fine too.
you know who I think the Leafs need, but they'll never get? Alex Pietrangelo.
Said that
Of course.
last episode.
I know, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, bro, this guy would make a perfect leader in the dressing room, perfect defensive defenseman, Canadian boy, Stanley Cup veteran.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he'd be such a good fit. I love Alex Pietrangelo.
So we all see Toronto coming out of this matchup.
yeah, offensively it's Toronto, defensively it's Columbus, but goalies, it's tough. But I'm going to give it to the Leafs.
Yeah,
But-
to the Leafs too. And the only thing, never count out Joan Tortorella.
Yes, for sure. So
That's true.
I was watching the Leafs game, and some commentators, I think it was Craig Simpson and Jim Houston, they were talking about how Tortorella was forming some speedier lines to keep up with the Leafs' pace. And if they can do that, that'll be a really good series.
I can see this series going 5 games.
I can definitely see this series going 5 games. It's gonna be the closest series.
If this series goes 5 games, it's gonna take years off my life. Can this team just ever comfortably win?
No. Are you new? Did we ever win comfortably, bro? We were winning 3-1 today. We won 4-2.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same difference. But...
Yeah, I know, but they still gave up goals. Yeah, bad example, I know, but we blow leads all the time. We blow leads all the time, man.
Definitely.
So I got 2 X factors for the series. First one, Freddie Anderson. He's had his worst statistical season ever as a goaltender in the NHL.
Yeah, Freddie's a different beast.
Exactly, and he will need to be a different beast. He will need to make some big saves because this defensive team, or this Leafs team, is not defensive at all. And especially with the rust, if they make some turnovers, Columbus will capitalize on that. And then second X factor is the Leafs' offensive depth, because defensively, I think their forwards in Columbus know how to shut down guys like Matthews and Tavares. And if that happens, the Leafs' depth need to step up. Or if they don't, Columbus will win the series. So basically, if Freddie doesn't play well, or if the Leafs' offensive depth doesn't come through, Columbus wins.
No, also loves offensive depth. Yeah.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Columbus still had Panarin and Bobrovsky. Who wins?
Are we saying Panarin plays? So, Panarin from last year or Panarin from this year?
Panarin from this year and Bobrovsky from last year.
Panarin on Columbus.
So the best form of them, pretty much.
Sure.
Yes.
So if they have Hart, Panarin from this season, and
sure. Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, so Columbus wins. No, there's no doubt.
I would say that as well.
If Bobrovsky's playing that well, then yeah, Columbus wins.
If we're going to this year,
then I'd give it to the Leafs.
Roles, then I'd probably give it to the Leafs as well.
They would abuse Bobrovsky.
I agree.
I think Korpisalo and Merzlikins have been better than Bobrovsky for sure this season.
Definitely.
I had Korpisalo on my fantasy team. That guy was friggin' good.
He was a dark horse, buddy.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I always knew he had it in him. I knew he would be a good goalie. The second Bobrovsky got traded from, or not traded, but he left Columbus. I didn't think Columbus was in a bad spot because Korpisalo was a good starter for them.
Oh, not but you have a Korpisalo poster in your room and kissed it every night before bed.
For sure. Kind of looks like William Nylander.
Oh yeah. Oh. Massimo's king. This guy said William Nylander is my king. Okay.
He's my king. He's a Swedish king.
Anyways, we've already had that discussion. So going around the table again, we all got Leafs.
We all got the Leafs.
But we would not be surprised if it goes.
We all have it in 5?
I would say 5.
I have it in 4. I'm going to say Leafs in 4. Hopefully.
Robbie said, mark my words, Leafs in 2, but I don't think that's possible, so I think he meant Leafs in 3.
I don't know. Robbie's pretty good at predicting. So
Leafs in 2.
Maybe they do
not in 2. Their entire team is going to get Corona, but every single one of the Leafs is going to be fine. So then they have.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm going to give it 4, same as Luca.
I'm going to go 5. I'm going to say Leafs win. Wouldn't be surprised if they don't.
So one thing I want to do before we conclude this episode.
Yes.
So one from each conference, pick an upset to happen.
Like you mean in playing?
If one upset were to happen from each conference, who would it be?
Like to go to the Cup final?
No, to beat the other team.
Oh.
Like the lower seed to beat the higher seed.
I'm going to go with Chicago, Edmonton.
I'm going to go with Minnesota to beat Vancouver.
Calgary, Winnipeg is too close. So, yeah, I'd have to say Minnesota, Vancouver.
Okay. East?
I already have Panthers, so Panthers.
Yeah, I have Panthers too.
You also have Rangers.
I'd go.
Well, actually, I have Rangers. That's my upset.
I'd go Panthers. Yeah, I'd go Panthers as well. I would say Columbus or Toronto, but that's too close. So, yeah, I'd go Panthers.
All right. Well, that is a wrap. We look forward to watching the Stanley Cup playoffs. Thank you for everyone who tuned in today. We appreciate all the support.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep. Keep listening, guys. Thank you.
And once these qualifying rounds are over, we can actually make a bracket and we'll get more in playoff depth.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
All right. See you guys later.
Yeah, see you later. Thank you for listening.